What's up, friends? Let me see here. Looks like my internet says it's slow. I hope it's not slow. I don't know why it won't let me check the internet. This is a great way to start a live video, eh? Let's try that again. Okay, there we go. All right, I think we're on. Okay, so today I want to talk about 3 things that you can do when you can't stick to your normal training routine, whether that's like strength training or whether that's like jiu-jitsu. Here's 3 simple things that you can do. So this week, as an example, I'm on daddy duty this whole entire week. So since the kids have been out of school, I've had them, my wife and I, we've had them in like some kind of kids camp with my son's school that he goes to. They had like it was for the whole month of June, there's supposed to be a kids camp. Well, somehow they cut it short a week, so there was only 3 weeks that were involved inside of that kids camp. So this whole week, my kids are at home and we didn't have any kind of like child care set up. So guess who gets to be doing the child care? Me. So fortunately for me, I can control my schedule. So basically, I'm at home all day during the week, and I'm not complaining, but that means like I'm completely out of my training routine as far as like work goes and like getting business stuff done. I've already pretty much set in my mind that I'm not going to be productive at all when it comes to running the gym, you know, writing my blog posts, that kind of thing, because my time is consumed right now with the kids, you know. And here's the thing. Here's part 1. If you find yourself just like crazy busy and like maybe you had family come in from out of town or whatever that circumstance is for you, here's the first thing that you need to do. Just wash it off, okay? Just enjoy that time. Maybe you're supposed to take it easy that week. So I'm taking this as a sign that I need to spend time with my kids this week, okay? So this whole week, I've already set in my mind, I'm not gonna be productive when it comes to business stuff. Like I said, writing, communicating with my email list, writing my blog posts, making videos, I'm just not gonna get it done. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cherish that time with my kids, because it doesn't always happen that I can spend all day with them. So during the mornings, we've been making pancakes in the mornings, just goofing around, having fun, laying in the bed, you know, just kind of just taking it easy. And then I take them through the routine, right? We get the, you know, we hang out, we do activities, then I have them make their lunch, put them down for their nap, and then once I put them down for their nap, you're probably thinking, okay, Hector, so my kids go down for their nap around 12:30, and they will sleep for 3 hours. I'm not kidding you. They'll sleep from like 12:30 to like 3:30. So in my head, I'm like, you know what? That's 3 hours when I can do some productivity, right? You would probably be thinking that would be a time to like get in a workout from the house. I have kettlebells at home. That would be the time to do that kind of stuff. You want to know what I did? I played PlayStation for 3 hours. That's right. I played PlayStation for 3 hours. I was completely unproductive, and I enjoyed the hell out of doing absolutely nothing. I finally, after years, I joined the PlayStation 4 world. Got me a PlayStation 4, and I'm a big MLB fan, so I'm an Atlanta Braves fan since childhood. So I bought me MLB 2019, and I've been playing PlayStation for 3 hours every day, the time that my kids are taking a nap. Totally unproductive, but I'm always going 24/7 every other day of the week. So I figure, you know what? This is the time that I'm supposed to be taking it easy, okay? So when you find yourself in that grind, right, and you find yourself like, man, I've got family in town or my kids are home for the summer, cherish that time and don't worry about sticking to the grind, sticking to the hustle. You hear that a lot, like I'm grinding, I'm hustling. Well, you know what? If you're always grinding and hustling, you're not really enjoying life. You're not enjoying that time. And I've been stuck in that rut a lot of times, right? Like I feel like, you know, as a business owner, like I feel like I'm always going 100% every day, all day. And it kind of sucks because I'm not really able to enjoy that time. So that's something I've been reflecting on this week. And I don't know if you can resonate with that. If you can relate to that, drop me a comment. So number 2, the second thing that you need to focus on doing when you're out of your routine and you can't stick to like your workouts or, you know, get into jiu-jitsu on time is you need to control your intake, your nutrition, okay? There is no reason why you should, you know, because that's one of the things, right? Like, so for instance, whenever we can't get to training, if we can't go to jiu-jitsu or we can't make it to get in our strength training at the gym, we throw the nutrition out, right? What is it saying? You throwing the baby out with the bathwater or something like that? Like, you're just kind of throwing it all out the window. No, like, buckle down and dial that nutrition in. Okay, cut your carbs back. You don't need to be intaking so many carbs. Don't completely cut them out because you still need them. But cut the carbs down a little bit. That doesn't, just because you're not making it to class does not give you a reason to eat like shit and to put tons of stuff in your face, right? I'm not saying not to enjoy that stuff, but that's not the time to do that. So just stay on point with the nutrition. Cut your carbs back a little bit and stick to, 80% of the time, be good with your nutrition, okay? And then and when I say 80% of the time, do you know what 80% is of 7? It's 6 days. So whenever we say you got to be on point 80% of the time with your nutrition, that's 6 days out of the week, not Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is easy to fall down that rut. Danny says it helps creativity when you relax and do some. Yeah, absolutely. So like so Danny said, if you do something creative, it helps you relax, right? So absolutely. So while I was going through my recovery and like the whole after the surgery, many of y'all may not know this, but I'm a geek, like, at heart. So I grew up playing like Magic the Gathering and like Blood Bowl and like all these times like role-playing games. And so I have a whole collection of Blood Bowl, which, if you don't know what Blood Bowl is, if you're a geek at heart, you know what Blood Bowl is. Magic the Gathering, I pulled all my cards out and I was like kind of playing with my cards. Like, it's something that I enjoy doing. I like the process of it. Michelle says, get it, PS4 will get you. What, dude, I'm like hooked to that thing for like 3 hours, and like 3 hours goes by like that fast. Right about diet. Yeah, the diet's the hardest part, right? So it's that is where we get all of our results from, right? So so doing something that you actually enjoy doing will help that time go by, and you're not going to look at it like wasted time. Okay, so number 2 is, when you're out of your normal training routine, you've got to keep the diet in check. That doesn't give you a good reason to fall off track and like, oh, whatever, I didn't make it to the gym, so I'm just going to order pizza and lay in bed and watch Netflix and eat gummy bears, right? So even though that sounds like an awesome idea, that's not something we want to do every day of the week, okay? And then number 3, here's the thing. So there's still, even though you're kind of out of your, yeah, Matt, you feel me, man, magic. Hell yeah, dude. Like, that was, like, I remember going to the cafeteria, like, when I was, so my dad, my stepfather that raised me actually had a gaming shop here in Corpus, so it's called Armchair Commanders, and him and a couple of guys, they owned it together, and I remember he introduced me to that game. I was like 13. This was in like 1992, 1993, and so I remember just kind of, just falling head over heels with that game. It was so addicting. I used to sneak my cards in my backpack, and I would go to school early, and me and my friends would meet up in the cafeteria, and we'd play Magic the Gathering. It was pretty cool. And I always had the good cards because my dad had the game shop, so I was always able to get the good cards and put together like really badass decks. So anyway, that was a geek moment. So even though you're out of your normal training routine, you may not be able to train like ideally the way you had it. So let's talk about, like, just from a strength training standpoint. Let's say normally you train 30 minutes a day and you train like 4 or 5 days out of the week, right? You grab your kettlebells, you do body weight, whatever it is that you like to do. Maybe you can't stick to those 30 minutes workouts 4 to 5 days a week, but here's what you can do. There's still no excuse why you can't get some physical activity in. So even during this week, well, I mean, obviously, look, I'm here at the gym. So my wife comes home, she relieves me at 4:30, and then I head into the gym because I've got classes to teach and I got students to see. And then, so that's the time when I come in and I do my workouts. I literally just finished training right now. So there's no excuse why you can't get in something. So here's the last piece what you need to do when you're out of your training routine. Get in 3 10-minute like practice or training sessions. I call these workout snacks. Okay, so I actually have an ebook called Kettlebell Workout Snacks, and the whole idea is they're little bite-sized workout snacks that you can do when you're stressed for time and you're like, man, I don't have a whole lot of time. But guess what? You've got 10 minutes. You've got 10 minutes. And actually, did you know that 3 10-minute sessions broken up throughout the day are just as effective, or maybe even more effective, as a 30-minute in one sitting training session? Sorry, my wife just texted me, don't forget the milk. She just texted me, don't forget the milk. I won't forget the milk if you're watching. It's just as effective because think about it. Strength training, exercise, it's stress. It's still stress. It's a good stress, but it's still stress on our body. And if we want to be able to control stress. And this is where part one of this little video is, if we stress about like, oh, my training routine is just kind of crazy and I don't have time to get it in, we're just adding more stress. Cortisol levels are going to go up. You know, it's all just going to get crazy, right? So we're adding more stress. So even when you do work out, let's try to minimize that stress even more and do a 10-minute session. Matt said they work for regular workout. Yeah, so I'm gonna get into that, Matt. Frank, wow, that 10-minute dude, 10 minutes adds up, right, Frank? So instead of, it's not, and plus in 10 minutes, here's the great thing about a 10-minute session is its quality. You can maintain like a pretty good effort. You can maintain a good intensity while maintaining good like quality movement and exercise. You can maintain that for 10 minutes. Now, if you're just getting back into shape, I work with a lot of like men and women that are just like getting back into shape. A 30-minute straight on like workout may not be the right thing for you. And that's, I think, where a lot of people get intimidated, like, man, I don't know if I can do that. Like, I don't know if I'm and you hear the, which is kind of backwards, right? You hear people think like, I got to get in shape first before I go to the gym, which is not true, right? You just got to go to get in shape. But a good starting point is breaking it up into little 10-minute bite-sized workout snacks. And that's kind of why I labeled my ebook Kettlebell Workout Snacks, because they're short little bite-sized 10 to 15-minute little snacks, depending on how much time you have available. And so when you break it up into 10 minutes, for one, you can maintain the quality. You can maintain that effort for at least 10 minutes. Two, it's only 10 minutes. It literally, 10 minutes, it takes you longer to drive to Whataburger. It takes you longer to get your order from Whataburger in 10 minutes. If you've got the time to drive to Whataburger and sit in line, it's totally worth it, right? Getting a Whataburger is totally worth it. But if you've got 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it takes you probably a half hour just to drive there, get your order, and come back, right? You can dedicate 10 minutes to getting in good shape 3 times a week. So you're looking at 30 minutes a week, right? And you're getting unbelievable shape. And it's a great stepping point. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, because I've heard some of this. This is some conversations that's been coming up with my students that I work with, is obviously like the time, and man, I fell off this week, or I fell off the last 2 weeks, and I don't know how to get back on track, and I'm afraid of going back. Like, how many times, like when it comes to jiu-jitsu, how many times are we afraid of getting back on the mat because we're afraid, like, man, it's gonna suck when I go back to class, it's gonna suck, man, because I haven't been to class in like 3 weeks, right? Like, we always dread going back to class, right? We always dread getting back into the gym. Well, I tell you what, there is a way to stay in jiu-jitsu shape even when you can't make it to the mat. So let's talk about that, okay? So when it comes to training jiu-jitsu, there are things that you don't need a training partner for. There are drills that you can do that you don't need a training partner. If you don't, he's already back there in the corner. I have a dummy. His name's Alfred. He's in this back corner right over there. For our students that have been here, you know who Alfred is. There's times when, man, I just can't make it to jiu-jitsu. I'm just busy, like this whole week, right? So literally, I'll pull him out and I'll just do drills. Now, is it the best? Is it better than actually training with a training partner? Absolutely not. Nothing replaces a coach. Nothing replaces a training partner, okay? But if I can't make it to the mat, it is what it is, right? So I have to get it in somehow, some way. So there's like 4 or 5 drills that you can do with the stability ball. There's 4 or 5 drills you can do with like a dummy, to where you can work on your technique, you can keep your heart rate up, you can maintain that conditioning. That way, when you go back to training, it's not gonna suck as bad, right? It's not gonna suck as bad. So I mean, you can do shrimping drills. You need but 10 feet of space on your floor, right? You can do guard passing drills. There's like 4 or 5 drills that you can do, and I talk about some of these drills in my program, BJJ Strength Secrets. So if you're curious about what this is, go to my blog and look up BJJ Strength Secrets. It's a kettlebell press program, but inside there, I provide a program called the BJJ Survival Guide, which is basically, I help you to stay in shape when you can't make it to jiu-jitsu. Help you stay in jiu-jitsu shape when you can't stay jiu-jitsu. So if you're curious about what I'm talking about and how to do all that, go check out my blog, it's on there. But I just wanted to jump on and just share that with you. So just to recap for those that have kind of jumped in right now, we're basically covered 3 things that you can do when your training routine is just kind of thrown for a whack. Maybe you're on vacation, or maybe like in my situation, I've got kids at home all day with me from morning until my wife comes home at 4:30, 5 o'clock. So 1, don't sweat it. Don't stress yourself out like, oh man, I can't work out, so let me just eat whatever I want. No. Enjoy the time with your family or with whatever that situation is. Enjoy that time. Come up, like Danny said, come up with something that's creative. Maybe take some time to read, take some time to paint, take some time to practice a musical instrument. Do something that you enjoy doing. For me, it's playing PlayStation 4 recently because I just got a new PlayStation. So for me, I've been playing PlayStation 3 hours a day since Monday, because I know that when the kids go back to school or back to whatever, I won't be able to do that, so I'm soaking it up right now. And by the way, I'm sure my wife loves that I'm playing PlayStation for 3 hours a day, and then when she goes to bed at night, I play for like another hour, which I'm sure she just absolutely loves, right? And then number 2 is keep your diet in check. Keep the carbs in check. Don't go crazy with your diet just because you're not going to the gym, right? That doesn't mean you throw that out the window, okay? You got to keep that in check, all right? And then the last one is getting in 3 10-minute sessions for the week. 10 minutes, you've got 10 minutes, okay? And I guarantee you, here's the thing, I guarantee you, when you do that 10-minute session, you're gonna feel amazing, you're gonna feel energized, and you're probably gonna stretch it to 15 minutes, okay? And then guess what? After that, you're probably gonna feel so good that you're probably gonna repeat it later in the day. So like I said, 3 10-minute sessions are just as effective or more effective than a 30-minute all-out session. Cool? So that's something I wanted to share with you guys. Hope you got some value out of that. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you Matthew, Frank, who we got here, Michelle, Danny. Thank you all you guys for chiming in, dropping a comment, engaging with me. So if any of this resonated with you, if you find yourself like with your training routine getting thrown out of whack from time to time, I'm going to drop a link in the comments. It's a link to my free ebook, Kettlebell Workout Snacks, totally free. I give you a time-tested, proven system of programs. These aren't just random workouts. These are actual programs that progress, that actually make you better. There's 8 of them in total. I give you a free program, and all you gotta do is download it. So I'll drop that link in the comments below. If you have any questions, if any of this in this video resonated with you, leave me a comment and I would love to engage with you. So I gotta run. Hopefully you got some great value out of that, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye guys.